Sometimes nothing obvious is happening. No warning, no signal, no clear reason. And yet, something feels unfinished, like part of the story never arrived. Most people recognize this feeling. A situation looks calm on the surface. The explanation sounds acceptable. Everything appears to make sense. But the sense of closure never comes. Not fear, not panic, just a quiet awareness that something might be missing. We often describe this as suspicion, but that word doesn't really capture it. It's not the belief that something is hidden. It's the sense that what we're seeing might not be everything there is. Humans are deeply uncomfortable with incomplete stories. When information stops abruptly, the mind doesn't stay neutral. It waits. And when nothing follows, it begins to wonder. We expect meaning behind outcomes, causes behind effects, reasons behind decisions. When those links aren't visible, the situation feels unstable. Not because it is unstable, but because it doesn't resolve itself. Sometimes we're given explanations that are technically complete, but emotionally thin. When the weight of an event doesn't match the weight of the explanation, something feels off. The mind notices the imbalance before it can explain it. Silence plays a special role here. Silence doesn't reassure us. When information fades away, we don't instinctively assume that nothing is happening. We assume we're no longer seeing it. This reaction isn't random. For most of human history, missing information mattered. What you didn't know could be more important than what you did. Paying attention to uncertainty once had real consequences. Today, the world is quieter in a different way. Systems operate without explanation. Decisions happen without visible processes. Outcomes change without clear narratives. The silence feels familiar, but the context is completely new. When answers don't arrive, the mind doesn't stop. It connects fragments, fills gaps, builds a version of events that feels more complete than the empty space it replaces. The feeling that there's more going on doesn't automatically mean that something is hidden, but it also doesn't mean that nothing is. Sometimes the boundary between what's incomplete and what's unseen isn't clear at all. We don't live in a world where every silence hides a secret, but we also don't live in a world that explains itself fully. Somewhere between those two truths, that quiet suspicion emerges, not as a conclusion, but as a question we haven't learned how to close. And that's why it can feel like there's more going on.